Hello, toy friends. Welcome back. I'm Will. This is the 1-8 team. And this is Mr. Jim Largo.
Howdy.
What's happening, Jim? How you doing today?
It's another lovely Sunday. Enjoying some caffeine and looking forward to seeing what we got going on the show today.
Well, we've got a really terrific show today. First of all, we have a wonderful guest. We actually were ships passing in the night at Joe Fest, and I missed him several times around, but we were able to connect afterwards, and he was kind enough to come up on the show. So without further ado, let's just get our guest in here. Hate to keep people waiting. It's the Sci-Fi Diorama guy. Hey, welcome. How are you?
How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. I'm really glad you agreed to come on. So that's great.
I readjusted my camera. You guys see me okay?
Yeah, you look fantastic.
Okay.
That is one heck of a display you got there. Let's check in with the chat, and then we'll jump right into finding out more about Sci-Fi Diorama guy.
Sounds good.
We got a lot of people here. So of course, we've got Bjorn Jorgensen with the Schmodulok. How are you, buddy? Beta Ray Bob. How's it going, Bob? And it looks like Tyler hoping for the Vulture figure. That's right, folks. Later on in the show, we will be giving away your choice of the new Marvel Epic Heroes, Miles Morales, and Marvel's Vulture figure, or a Joy Toy World War II figure of your choice. So I have 3 of those, and also have, if you prefer the Green Goblin, you could have him as well. So just stay tuned, guys. We'll be giving that away after our guest. So hang in there, folks. So Jeff Morris is here. Hi, Jeff. How are you? And Roll Keeper, what's happening? Ian Sweeney's here. And Defiant Outer Rim, how are you? And we've got Audi. What's up, Audi? How are you? Who else is here? The Toy Hermit. How's it going, buddy? And let's see.
The infamous Gojitron is here.
So Ian Sweeney is saying that you have a kind of a Shaggy from Scooby-Doo look going on today.
Zoinks. I do like some Shaggy.
Gojitron, how are you? Starboy Station. Hey, how's it going? You'll have to catch the replay. Well, that's great, man. Starboy's the best. Mr. Hillbilly Harper, hi, how are you? And we've got, I think that's about it. No, Wentzilla's here. How's it going? And Scotty. You keep signing me out and make sure I'm human. Okay, well, we want to make sure you're human as well. Even though if you're not, it's okay. You're welcome here. So I mean, he might be a robot. We don't know. So what I did here is I did just pull some slides from your website there.
Okay.
And guys, the link to the Sci-Fi Diorama Guy website is pinned in the top of the chat. So if you'd like to go there and check out his products or even follow along with us, you can. So just click that link and check them out. All right. So
yeah, I really like the layout here for your showing what your wares are, because it's something that a lot of guys who are world building really want as somewhere to start. They love the figures, but just having them on a blank shelf is kind of boring. This is really great.
Thank you.
I think it's great. And it's wonderful that it measures 18 by 6, which I just bought these shelves to start a world building project. And coincidentally, they're 18 inches across. So it worked out perfectly for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's great. But yeah, so what we have here is, it's a diorama platform measuring 18 by 6, 4 different colors. You have a choice of 8 different backdrops. And it's able to accommodate over 40 lines of action figures, including modern and vintage Star Wars and G.I. Joe. And then, I mean, the list I'll leave it up here. And then if you want to talk about it a little bit,
sure.
What a task that was, getting it to be compatible with all of these lines.
Yeah. And so the idea for the Advantage came about when I would see a lot of my, I've been doing toy shows for probably 40 years. I turned actually 55 today. So today's my birthday. So
What?
glad to be here.
Happy birthday,
Congratulations.
man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And so I've always loved displaying my figures. And I know a lot of my friends, and I've seen customers at the shows that had different displays and different setups. And a lot of times, whenever they have figures that are displayed, they're either flat in a case, or if they're on a shelf, they get knocked down pretty easily. Or if you have your own figures at home on a display shelf, one falls down and it's the domino effect, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I came up with the advantage. Since I'm a huge Star Wars fan, they're 6 by 18 inches, which is roughly the size of a computer keyboard, and it's about the same size of the first 12 action figure stand from the first Star Wars film that Kenner came out with. Yeah, for the mail away. In fact, if you're looking at the video now where I'm sitting, the Kenner Classic I just released for a limited time is kind of a tribute to that, and it has the old backdrop. Of course, that's reversible too, and there's another image on back that has the original trilogy.
Very nice.
That is very nice.
This, so it basically, this is $40. So if you don't have $250 to spend on the original one, you can get this one pretty cheap. Each board has 120 peg holes, and they have connectability on all 4 sides, so you can make them connectable on a long shelf. You can create an enclosed room. But I did research for several years, and I found that the Kenner action figures from the first Star Wars line, there's 96 figures in the Star Wars vintage figure line total. And in those 96 figures, there's over 20 variations of foot peg sizes in the holes of their feet, which is uncanny. In the modern Star Wars line, for the 4-inch figures, there's over 200 variations.
Wow.
In the Black Series, there's over 20. Acid Rain, there's over 20. Joy Toy, there's probably 25 or 30. And Fortnite, modern G.I. Joe, the Black Series, they're the ones that are like almost consistently the same is the vintage G.I. Joe 4-inch line. For some reason, they kept those standards perfect. And that foot peg hole is the size virtually on every single one. But every other figure line beyond that has just suffered. And so I came up with the advantage to try to accommodate collectors who have, Marvel, DC, 6-inch, 4-inch, 2-inch, whatever figures they like to display, and came up with 3 different size peg holes that can accommodate 40 different lines of action figures. And on my website and on the show today, you can also find out which ones are compatible. But I did it because I'm a collector myself, and I like to put stuff up. And so if you don't have time to set up, 10 cameras or smoke and mirrors or the ambiance of outside, you want just a nice backdrop that will go with several different lines. The advantage gives you choices for that. And it's just a neat way to kind of expand your line, or if you got them on a shelf, to keep them secure. So if you do bump against those, or you got a cat that likes to crawl over everything, or the kids that bump it, you're safer that way.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there's quite a bit of engineering that went into this. Do you have a background in this type of engineering, or was this just something that started as a hobby?
So this started, good question. So I found out I went through several different prototypes, and I went through different engineers and graphic artists to create the boards themselves. I went through so many prototypes just to be able to make the sides connectable. The first ones I had were too short, so they were brittle and they would snap off. They would stick out a little more. They didn't look aesthetically pleasing. And I wanted to make sure that once I got this, I patented and copyrighted everything that I did. So I went to a patent lawyer, which is a whole lot of fun. Sarcasm there. But it's quite the process. And so, but I wanted to protect my work. And so once I got the engineers and once I got the artist to create what I wanted, I paid them a lot of money to come up with something and then keep revising it, revising it, and revising it. And one of the engineers that I got was a competitive gamer. So this guy went to Comic-Cons and I found him online. And this guy had gone to different comic conventions and everything, and he was into miniatures like the D&D and the Warhammer and the 40K.
Okay.
So, but he came up with different types of designs. And when I came up with the boards, what I did was I took. Did I? All right. Am I still good here on camera? Can you still see me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. I knocked it off cue here. So
No,
here is one that I weathered. Right. I wanted to make sure that once you weather them, they look kind of cool on all sides. That they'll take it. Like this is a weathered version of one of the gray boards, and I gave it deep grooves so that in case you wanted to take it, like in the Star Wars universe, the Acid Rain universe, several world building people that are out there that are doing their own creative dioramas and backdrops and worlds that are so talented, often like to put things very weathered, towards you kind of got that sort of dystopian Blade Runner type of look. Exactly. And so I wanted to have something that would take paint pretty easily. And so the plastic itself absorbs the paint pretty well. It doesn't repel it. And it's deep enough. I made each of the holes on the grooves here. These are deeper than the grout lines on the side. So it can look like the floor grate of a ship or a factory or a warehouse or a catwalk or you name it. Whatever you're trying to build, this is universal enough to go with whatever you've got. And I met one of the guys from Marauders Task Force, one of the guys who does the photography for him. And he and I just hit it off great. And as I'm leaving, as I'm packing up for the show, he runs out to me and he's like, I shook my hand. It's like, it's great meeting you. But I never got a chance. I was so busy at the booth. I never got a chance to look at your stuff. So, and he's a world builder. And so I take him out to my truck and he buys 18 of them. And he's like, yeah. And so he's like, I want to build these things. So he is on the different boards, and he basically took a bunch of these and just made them. He took them and gave them kind of like a hazard stripe look for what he's making. Yeah, and he did some and did them black and red. He did some and made them tan and green. And so the design comes from the mind of someone who knows what it's like to create your own universe in your own world and your sanctuary of action figures. Because let's be honest. I mean, for a lot of us people, your action figures are your sanctuary. It's your safe place. It's where you can escape. It's where you can delve into whatever you want and make it however you want and create any kind of world and society that you want. And I came up with the advantage so that people could use these in any form or fashion. If you want to keep them clean and keep them on your shelf, you can do that. If you want to just buy the boards themselves, I sell the boards individually. You can make them. You can create your own walkway or whatever you like. And it took over a year. I had to shop factories in China and then I had to find out how much it was going to cost. Each of the backdrops that you see here, with the exception of this one, this is a limited release one, but everything else that I got, I paid a graphic artist to create something that looked unique enough. Like with the tan, it could be Mogadishu for Acid Rain. It could be Cairo for Indiana Jones. It could be Tatooine for Star Wars. It could be a G.I. Joe, hideout, exactly. And so each one of the Advantage backdrops has a Star Wars-ish backdrop, and then another generic one for your Marvel or your Ninja Turtles or G.I. Joes. And I paid each one of these artists to make these different images, and then bought a lifetime reuse license for those. Once I got those, then I got those printed, and I wanted to make them all double-sided, like I just showed you before, and then made them so you can just flip them if you want to change the backdrops and make it as diverse as you like, right? And then I made the different foot pegs, different colors, so you could easily associate with them. In fact, when I first had the pegs made, they sent me a triangle, a circle, and a square that was printed. All three pegs were the exact same color, but on the head of it was a triangle, a circle, or a square, which was, it's probably 1/15 of the size of your thumbnail. He's like, that's an easy way and a cheap way to get around it. I'm like, who in their, I mean, I said, most of these guys are 40 plus. Who's going to look at one of these and do that? So I had to create a whole different, I mean, it took a lot more money, but I had to create a whole different set of colors. So it'd be just much easier to just look at the color and match your figure. So that worked out. And then I came up with the box art, and which is what you see on the website. And then I had a couple of commercials that I just released, made to promote it. And Joe Fest was one of my first shows to promote the product.
Oh, was it? Oh,
I met a lot of so I met a lot of great people like you, and so that's one of the reasons why we're here today.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I gotta say the connection for the platforms, it's the first thing I did because my shelves are a little deeper, so I figured I'd go too deep and get more action on there. They hold really well. I mean, they fit in, and it's almost like seamless once you get them snapped together. You know, I went too deep, and they look great. And I just gotta say, the backdrop for someone like me who's not really a photographer, you could get pretty great results just setting up a couple figures and taking a picture, you know, where people think you did something. So, you know, it really does help add that. And if you want something that is just, you know, anyone could get these, set them up and start displaying and taking photos right away. I mean, it was like a 2-minute, you know, task for me to get this all set up. I have not, I did look on your website on the FAQs, and it said, you know, some people were having trouble fitting the pegs in. I did not have trouble at all. I found that they worked perfectly fine. You know, no problem. Just snapped right in, and I didn't have an issue with them. But yeah, fantastic. And
I definitely like the idea of doing the weathering. I mean, you think back to 77, that was kind of the big thing that drew us to Star Wars, was it was a very lived in universe. Everything was old and beat up.
Right.
So what are the base colors that you come with that we can use to
good question.
To paint?
Jim, because I have them right here. Yeah, so we have.
Okay, awesome.
The first one up is black. So yeah, we can go into that just so you can see.
Okay.
And
so so we have we've got black, which is basic. You can use for your typical your Death Star, your space station, your Cobra hideout, right? Your what is the new there's a new thing the Marauders came out with. I can't. It's like that is it the Z Force? No, it's not Z Force.
Z Force, it's kind of an homage to the old Palatoy.
Right. Yeah. And
the Skeletron.
Skeletron, and so one guy had his Skeletron figures on, and that was pretty cool. And because they work with Marauders Task Force as well, and
Great.
I think so it's black, and there's tan.
So
Tan
that's
is
the two backdrops you get with black. You get this
Oh, I'm
one
sorry.
where it's like you could see out. Then this looks like a. It's not a planet; it's a space station. Hallways, right?
Yeah, and
That's
you're looking down on a planet, like it's a ship looking
Yeah.
down, like descending on a planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
that's very good.
it's actually that's Alderaan. So
Oh,
Nice.
it's
very
kind of
cool.
like an Empire, ship descending on Alderaan, but it could be anything. It's kind of meant for that. I've got a GI Joe classified guy. I've got a He-Man figure up there. I got a Star Trek figure, and even a Battle Beast hanging out up there.
You got a lot of
but-
stormtroopers up here on the screen. We're showing
Yes.
some of the pictures from your website there, and
Okay.
and that's
Yeah.
black. So you got the two, but you can see how well it works. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
The tan looks really great with the military figures. It's a natural.
Yeah, I love that with kind of
The tan is great. Those are Acid Rain or Joy Toy figures
Yes.
you have with it.
Acid
on the
Rain and
website?
Joy Toy. They're both. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just had them kind of going through like a city about to do a raid,
Yeah.
about to ascend on something, and so those pictures turned out great. So it took, like I said, the pictures that you took with your stuff, it's an easy setup. If you want something quick and fast and want a backdrop that'll work.
It makes you
with
look much better at photography than you are.
Well, that's right. I tried to make it easy.
Well, and just the fact you enhance your shelf immediately just by putting that on there instead of just having a blank shelf with some guys standing around. That's really good. Plus, if you're reviewing figures, which a lot of our fans and friends do, this is a great way to review a figure. You put this in the background, you put the new figure there, and show them off.
Right.
Even the white, that Arctic background looks fantastic. And on here you have Slipstream karate kicking. Looks like it's a blizzard right in the assistance there. I don't know. That's a good setup. And the tan looks fantastic with the backdrops as well. And this one is actually in this photo's like weathered. You can see this is the white, I believe, with the alternate background. And
yes, with the Bespin and the stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really good. My favorite photo though is the where it's kind of the futuristic city streets, and you have Michelangelo and Spider-Man having a little
yes.
a little like
It's got like a cyberpunk vibe to that background. It's kind of cool. It works with a lot of stuff.
And I kind of use that for like a lot of the reaction figures. You can have your big. It could be Big Trouble in Little China. It could be for Ninja Turtles, for Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy, GI Joe. The Streets of Andor. I mean, anything. So it was the gray is probably my favorite. The gray comes with like the neon streets and then the asteroid field.
That's the one I picked out, and I did get it because of the neon streets, as you call it there. Bjorn Jorgensen has a question for you, saying, could you print your own backgrounds? And I'd say the answer is pretty easy, but I'll let you go ahead and
certainly. If you want, you can certainly. You're welcome to print your own backgrounds. If you purchase or pick up an Advantage, you can basically get one. And then just take the schematics of the board and then just go print it on like some cardstock. And each
need to get the dimensions. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the backdrops. Yeah, the backdrops are they're 8 by 18. 18 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, and 8 inches high. And I made them 8 inches so they could fit the 6-inch figures. So they would have some room over their heads.
Yeah, that's
But
smart.
you, yeah, you can totally make your own backdrops if you want, and print them off on whatever, and get some cardstock and do your thing. I mean, and that's what the beauty of this is for. I mean, it's for you to make whatever you want to do for your display, your setup, your world building. This is something that's
I tried, which
Yeah.
worked pretty well, was I took the card back for my Delta 17 figures, and it has their file card on it and everything, and I stuck it in there, and it's a little thin, but with a little bit of work behind it, it could look really nice. You just lay some of those card backs there. Just
That's
for
awesome.
and I didn't
I have
put any pictures up yet, but
And I
that
like
was
the
an idea.
connectivity too, because everybody has different size shelves. The fact that whether they're connected or not, you left the edges to where they still look really good. It doesn't look like something's missing if they're not connected, which is a
Yeah,
nice
correct.
detail.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
even in the 1/18 scale, there's a lot of oversized figures now. So even if you're not doing 6-inch figures, you could put a vehicle or some other larger figure, and you're still going to have a good sized backdrop to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and Ted Darklaw has a question for you.
Sure.
Ted Darklaw runs the Hella Dope Toys store.
Yes,
They have
we
an
met at
online
Joe
store.
Fest. How are you?
Yeah, and he said you are on a list of guests he would like to try and book for his show. So just wanted to let you know. So
Love to be on. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. That's very kind. I'd love to be on.
sorry I interrupted you there, but yeah, go ahead.
No, you're good. I wanted to bring up something that you did, and you guys had mentioned that you can also make these. You can make them deeper, right? You can put one in front of the other, and that's what you chose to do for your GI Joe setup.
Yep.
And there's a guy who did a toy review. He goes by Bosk Bounty, and
Yes, sure.
he put a kind of like a Tatooine land speeder stop set up. He put two tan backdrops in front of the other. And whenever I see a figure or a part or a Greebly or a ship, my mind always goes to Star Wars, right? So when I was hunting at Joe Fest, I was looking for parts I could use for my society, my world building in the Star Wars universe. So every piece that I think of, I've got something Star Wars in mind. But I saw something for the very first time. I know GI Joe enough, but I don't know it super well or very in depth. But I saw when you purchased the Advantage, you had this incredible display that looked perfect with the neon streets in the back, and you had this. I'd never seen this Jeep before. I could tell that they were GI Joe figures, but they were all dark, and they had this black and yellow, kind of like a stealth looking Jeep.
Ah, yeah, the Palatoy SAS.
Yeah,
Great idea. Great look.
Yeah. Such a wonderful. So that is a Palatoy, the UK version of GI Joe. They did a lot of kind of just alternate colors or alternate versions of some of your favorite GI Joe vehicles, and it wasn't until just a few years ago that I discovered them as well. So I had this lifetime of thinking I knew everything about GI Joe, and then I find out that there was this like completely rad, awesome UK version, and they're not that easy to come by. So when I was at Joe Fest, I ran into a gentleman in the elevator who was from the UK, and he asked me if I ever heard of the UK version, and I said, "Oh, of course I have." And he said, "Well, I brought some to sell to you Americans," and then was kind enough to sell me one at a really amazing price. So
yeah,
I was
Palatoy
thrilled
is
to
a
have
great
it.
company. They started doing Action
Yeah.
Man, which was their version of the 12-inch GI Joe, and then they started making their own improvements to that. And then when everything went to the 1/18 scale, they started with their own 5 POA figures. I have one here that's an SAS Commando, and then they eventually started working with Hasbro and started doing the O-ring figures and just doing like Will was saying, they did recolors of the vehicles and the figures for the European market, and they're really awesome.
So
That's
yeah, for
great.
someone like I said, of my ripe old age, to find something new in a toy line that I really love, is just it's a wonderful feeling, to know that
You're a kid again.
yeah, that and that's how I feel with it. So, I paired it up with just some of my those were my two favorite hauls from Joe Fest was my, Advantage display system and the SAS Panther. So of course I had to get them together and make them work. And yeah, so it's just great. We do have some questions and some comments from the chat I do want to address.
Certainly, yeah. Go ahead.
A World Made of Cardboard, and of course he would know this because he makes wonderful cardboard creations, toys made out of cardboard, absolutely free. So go check out his YouTube channel if you want to see some really nice stuff. But he said they have 11 by 17, 110-pound cardstock. He uses it to print out paper models. He thinks that it could work really well with these bases. So good tip there from Mr. A World Made of Cardboard. Thank you, John. And
Yeah, please. Yeah, feel
Bjorn
free to
just
connect with me or
bragging
message
that
me.
he had to guide me to the Sci-Fi Diorama Guy booth. Yes, sometimes when you're going through those conventions, you pass something and then you're looking for it. And I swear I felt like I went up and down every aisle and I ran to Bjorn. I go, "Where's Sci-Fi Diorama Guy? I have to get it," because I was taking a break from the booth and he led me there. So thank you for that, Bjorn. You're the man. And
Which
Yeah.
is another thing. These are compatible with Delta 17, the booth where
yeah,
Will was
Yes.
working.
that's right. Yeah, they work perfectly. So
Yeah.
Beta Ray Bob has a nice statement here. He says, "For all those people that complain about the lack of a floor in the HasLab Cantina, you could use these as a floor. They would work perfectly." I'd say,
Absolutely. And
yeah, I'd
you
say
need a
yes.
floor because every playset needs a level surface. And there's nothing more frustrating than getting a figure you like and it won't stand up well. And if it comes with a stand, it's not a great stand. This alleviates that problem altogether.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Scotty say with a suggestion or a question, he was just saying, have you ever do you have any printed
Ooh,
on clear plastic for the foreground
that
too,
would be neat.
or is a dust protector? Like if it's a jungle, you would have a clear plate in the front slot, I guess, with some trees on it. That's
Oh, I
Like
see.
almost like a
Like an insert for the shelf.
for the
For
front of
okay,
the display, like maybe like with some foreground shrubbery, and then you have
yes.
the figures and then the background. So that's a pretty good idea. Thank you for that, Scotty.
Yeah. And you can do that with the Advantage too, because you've got a slot. There's the slots go completely around all four sides of the Advantage.
oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah. So you could
So
put something in front or behind it. So that would absolutely work.
So that's great. And then in addition, on your site, just so people can paint these, they take paint very well, but you also
Yes.
offer painted versions, right? I'm sorry. And
Yep.
Jim, you were gonna say
Nice.
something?
Oh no, I was just going to comment. It's really not hard to do this type of painting, even with a spray can or an airbrush. I've done something similar to this on a few pieces that I've worked on. So it's great that this plastic is designed to take the
Oh,
paint well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. Can you hold those up again? You got them in your
Oh,
hand there.
certainly. Yeah.
I'll get you because I just had the picture on the website. So
Oh,
yeah, so
nice.
you could buy pre-printed or pre-painted ones on the website as well.
Pre-painted.
Yep.
Yep.
So there's a lot you could do. I would suggest if you're going to start with these, pick up a kit, see how you like it, but when you move on from that, you could pick up just base plates, right? Just more pegs. You could pick up
Absolutely. And there's
fact.
I kind of made this alien looking backdrop here, if you can see that. I kind of did the yellow and black hazard stripes with my alien hallway and
Very
board there.
industrial. Yeah.
Exactly.
It also kind of helps with giving depth to the scene with the vertical lines there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And yeah, like I said, I sell these individually, and if there's a certain set or a certain kind you want, I've done custom work for other people as well. If they want a certain color hazard stripe or look or design,
Okay.
lots of choices. Yeah.
Fantastic. And then one of the ones I brought up because I had a question about it was on your website on the store. there's a tab that says add-on backdrops,
Oh,
and
nice.
Yes.
featured is there's several add-on backdrops pictured, and then I didn't put it in my cart, but it says $15 USD. I would imagine that's each additional backdrop is $15.
Right. So if you put
Okay.
on like if you like this one here that I'm showing right now, this one is the alien hallway, right? Or
Okay.
the kind of that I have set up with the alien hallway. But it can go with anything. The flip side of that
That's
is
nice.
this kind of, it can be the Hall of Justice or the GI Joe control room, or whatever you want to make it,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
some kind of futuristic Men in Black, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cowboys and aliens, right? So I have these add-on backdrops and the Star Wars limited edition one I have.
So then
So
you could
there
just
are
select.
actually, yep, you can select the different backdrops that you want, and you have a choice to add those
Yeah.
on. So if you want to get
Yeah.
an Advantage kit and want to put an add-on backdrop, you can certainly do that.
And if you're like me, and when you opened up your bag of pegs, you spilled them all over the place. You
Oh
can
my
also
gosh.
pick up a nice little crate. I picked up this little crate at Walmart to store mine in. But
Oh,
if
yeah.
let's say your mom or your wife came by and vacuumed them up on you, you could purchase additional pegs. So
That's
you can get
helpful.
them. And let's just say, it comes with 3 styles, but let's just say you're a diehard and you only collect one type of figure. Let's just say GI Joe. You could buy additional pegs at at any time. So that's really nice. And in addition to the Advantage, your website has a lot more to offer. And I just wanted to pull that up and share it, and just go through some of the tabs here on here, if that's all right. Can you see
Absolutely.
that, guys? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So
So
let me
if
go
you could, so
back over here.
my camera's reversed, so
Oh, no
I'm doing
problem.
this blindly. So
I'll
just
tell you
give me
what
a
we're
hint of
looking at. So
All right.
not only do you have the tab on the main website there for the Advantage, but you have custom ships in the 1/18 scale, and you have right now the only thing available is the A-wing, which looks beautiful.
Neat.
Thank you.
And I
I
see
had
a couple different styles. So is that your choice, or
you can't. So I had 14 of them that I did,
okay?
and the A-wings I have 2 left. So I just made a brown and tan one that I just got finished. I've not weathered it yet, and I have there's one that's left on there, which is a I think it's like a tan and a white with green wings on the end.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
You use an airbrush to do your base painting?
No.
Or?
So what I did was I went to Ace Hardware probably, I don't know, a few years ago. Krylon Fusion was amazing paint, but Krylon Fusion has now gone to Krylon Fusion for everything. So that paint is now, it's plastic, it's wood, it's vinyl, it's laminate, it's everything.
Nice.
But the Krylon Fusion, they discontinued, and that stuff is incredible to use for plastic stuff only. And it's a lot better than the new stuff that came out with it. It's more of the generic. So when Ace Hardware was selling out of them, I bought 300 cans off the shelf of the spray paint. And and so I just bought every color imaginable and just started using that. So that's what I prime all of my plastic pieces with, because it adheres like nothing else. I've never found any other paint that will equal that. And then I'll stripe it off with frog tape. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the 501st Legion, and I learned that whenever we do, like when we stripe off parts of our armor, frog tape is fantastic for not
for
getting
clean lines. Yeah,
exactly. Yes. Yeah, it's great for that. And so that's what I use to get that done. But I take everything apart I wash it, I spray it and prime it separately. And then once I put it all together and I start washing it, I use this, it's called pavement gray. It's an apple barrel color. And pavement gray is a Walmart apple barrel paint, which is like $1 for a tube. And I use pavement gray and everything, and I soak it in that, then I wipe it off and streak it. Then I use these things called Amsterdam inks. And Amsterdam inks you can get on Dick Blick or Hobby Lobby, and they've got all these different ink colors that will stain your plastic. And so you just water that down. You can make like a little pool of rust if you want. You can give it a little more depth. You can blot it or dab it. And then to make it look like there is pitting in the metal, I take a can of brown flat or matte spray paint and dust it over the model itself, so that when it falls, it's these tiny, teeny bits of brown that look like rust about to come out.
It's amazing. A lot of these toys that we see have molded detail that you don't see because, you know, the factory paint is very basic. When you do that kind of detailing, all of those little pieces that are molded in really pop. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All the little panels that are popping out with these A-wings just look fantastic. And
it's it's a pain to paint, but it is a great looking ship, and it's so much detail. You're right. In that one small ship, they've got so many grooves and lines and bolts and you name it, and it's in there, and it just really, really makes it pop.
And
Scotty brought up a good point here.
What does he say?
He uses a lot of the water-based acrylic paints. What kind of a sealant do you use? He uses something called Mod Podge, which a few of us have used. I use a matte spray that's a model paint. Do you have something similar you use when you're sealing your paint jobs?
I use a matte spray as well. So, but I've heard Mod Podge has produced great results. I've not tried it yet, but I'm going to. Okay. But I've heard good things.
Bjorn put a link up in the chat. Thank you, Bjorn.
For
Hobby
the Amsterdam.
Lobby for the Amsterdam inks. That's great. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was nice. Thank you. So you also do figures as well. I'm looking at here, and some of these figures, they look marvelous. Really great paint jobs. Some of these are familiar to people who are interested in other lines, but like you said earlier, you're always looking to turn them into Star Wars characters, right? So,
of course.
Yeah.
And I see a few diorama pieces here as well. That's neat.
That droid factory looks very interesting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've got a I'll grab real quick.
It looks really cool. I remember that set when it originally came out. Yeah, it was very basic from the as a toy, but with that detailing, it looks like a whole different thing.
Well, let's pull you up here so we could see it live. Yeah.
Yeah, here is the droid factory just basic set, right? And I took it and I spray painted it this gray, and then I put the lines. I just messed with different hazard stripes. I thought the ramps are kind of cool in different colors. So I just did orange and blue for this one.
Yeah.
So I've not weathered this yet, but all the base coats are on. And once I weather them, they kind of turn out like this. And
oh yeah, that looks fantastic.
Very cool.
And so in that little bitty piece where the turret used to go, where the crank used to go, I found this Fortnite school bus that had a whole bunch of like 8 or 12 chairs in it. And I took it apart and I gave it to one of my buddies in Kit Bash Club. So we got a group locally that we get together once a month and do kit bashing.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
But I took off all the seats because they're all for 4-inch figures. And so I spray painted them all white and primed them with different Amsterdam ink colors. So this is like an Amsterdam ink aquamarine.
Nice.
So and I just put different colors that would match the different hazard stripes. And, you know, it could look good for your acid rain guys,
yeah,
your
looks
whatever.
great. Yeah, and do you find that those inks on the action figures, the way they color the joints, does it help with the like on some of the action figures? You know, paint rub on joints is something that customizers always deal with.
Yes, it does. In fact, I did. That's a great question. So, paint rubs can be a pain, and so the inks do a good job in helping to stay in the cracks a little more.
Mm-hmm.
I also discovered, you'll see on my site. I just put up I got a Hoth Stormtrooper, and I put him in the RIT synthetic dye that you use for your clothes, but the RIT synthetic dye will work on action figures.
Nice.
So I put him in a pot, not the one I normally use to cook things in, but I put him in a pot and boiled him. And on the Hoth Stormtrooper or Snowtrooper, there's certain parts of the armor and the action figure, the plastic, that will not turn any other color, so they remain white. But if you look, and it's on my page. Let me see if I can grab one here.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see him here.
Yep. All right, I got two of these guys here. So I don't know. Can you see these pretty well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a dark blue that I used, and you can see it kept their chest armor completely white. For whatever reason, the dye would not adhere to it, but it really made a great contrast. So I thought I got these two gas masks from Marauders, and I just put these on, and I just gave them these kind of wastelander sort of looks. I did
they look fantastic.
Thank you. The pavement gray, and then I used a burnt sienna on the Amsterdam inks, and just kind of made them a little more dirty.
Yeah, they look great, and that really actually is like the fact that it won't adhere to the main chest plate and stuff like that, but it'll fill in all those cracks. It really provides a really great look. That is fantastic.
And so you don't have to worry about the joints anymore, because
Yeah.
you can basically take them and I also tend to I took some of the figure's joints off. Like I would use a hair dryer. You can boil and pop them, and I just popped them off and made the different joints. So like whenever you bend the knee, or you bend the elbow, I would just boil it in the RIT dye for probably 2 minutes. Then I would move the joint, because the underside of the joint, that when I would move it, was still white because it was stuck inside the plastic. So when I moved it and I just turned it the opposite way, it made the entire thing blue in this case. And that way, whenever he turns his elbow, it'll always be blue consistently, or shoulder, or whatever.
Yeah. We got a couple questions here. Scotty,
Sure.
wondering, have you considered tiers for your displays within a shelf type, like multiple floors, some way to connect them? Like for the Death Star, you could have multiple levels.
To add height in the background if you have like two panels
to connect them vertically. Any future?
I see what you're saying.
Like that?
I just recently got asked that, and I haven't, because I made the flat boards so that you can be a little more experimental with your setup. This is something that a buddy of mine built for me. This is a black shelving unit that I take to the shows. And so it's meant to do, if you want to do a stair step like this, you can, but it's meant to just put them on shelves. I've not done another level of like a tier or a stair step, but that's certainly a great idea. But it's just meant, it's something I've not.
Got a great comment here by Bjorn saying the main draw and beauty of the Advantage system is that it works with so many different toy lines. Well, thank you, Bjorn. That's a nice comment.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
Gojitron saying, you sold me. I just ordered the Kenner Classic set. Well, congrats, Koji.
Awesome.
That's great. Thank you. That's awesome. It's good to hear. And so that's really nice. And then a lot of people chiming in on just saying, loving the paint, sharing their little paint tips and that. So yeah, wonderful.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
we've got that. We've covered most of the website. I did want people to see that you have those. In addition to the Advantage, you have all of those wonderful customs available as well. So how long
we
has
should
the
ask-
Advantage been out? Because I was just shocked. Like, why didn't I hear about this sooner? Like, I was like, where have you been?
It's only been, it's fairly new, so it's only a couple of months old.
Okay.
So yeah, it is brand new. So that's
So I don't
cool.
feel
You're not
bad.
missing out. You've not missed the boat or anything. So it's still pretty new.
Gotcha.
One of the bugaboos we run into, especially with some of our international friends, is shipping. How do you handle international shipping, or do you just deal with the continental U.S.?
Great question. No, I've shipped to Spain. I've shipped to Antarctica.
Wow.
I've shipped to, I mean, it's I know that a lot of times that I ship internationally. So there's a guy in Spain who ordered 8 sets. So he wanted he wanted 16 boards. So I mean, shipping, I know for international collectors, unfortunately, is a lot, which I can't control the shipping.
Sure.
But wherever you are, I will find a way to get it to you.
Great.
That's cool.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Beta Ray Bob wanted to know if for future releases, have you thought, well, he's bringing up the columns for vertical, but also half plates if for, I guess, different interconnectivity, like a half size plate.
Half
Oh,
plates.
so if you wanted to put a plate on top of a plate just to give a little bit of added height.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, okay, like not like a half the size of the board, you mean, but like a one that would put like is almost like a tier.
Yeah, I guess
think so.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's saying. Yeah.
I have considered that and making it. There used to be I believe an Empire Strikes Back diorama like mail away set. It was like a white one that you could order, and it was like a square when the center was cut out. Someone brought that up, and I'm not sure if that's where he's going with it, but you can certainly take these and make a different square shape if you want. They would connect with all that. But I've not done anything yet. It's brand new. So these there's several thousands of these sets that I just got in stock. So I'm gonna see what the I mean, the reaction so far has been amazing. I can't complain. So I've been very, very pleased, and people in the action figure community and the world building community have been very, very supportive.
Oh, okay. Beta Ray Bob
and by
was
the
just
way,
coming in and saying it's a plate half the length or half the width of the standard.
got it. No, I have not thought about that.
Okay.
But that would be.
And then someone else wanted to know if these are compatible with Final Faction figures. Give me 1 second and I'll find out, because I'll go grab one and see if it goes on my board.
You got a Final Faction figure? That's good, because I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, you've definitely given us plenty to work with this Advantage setup as is. And I think you'll see as it gets in the hands of collectors and they start tinkering with it, you'll get a lot of feedback about ideas for future products that would enhance it further. But I love it the way it is. It's great. Like, I'm already looking at my shelves and seeing where I can definitely take advantage of the Advantage. That's going to be great.
Awesome. Yeah, and for each listener that is on the show, that mentions you guys and mentions this this broadcast, I have a free Sci-Fi Diorama Guy T-shirt with any order. Yeah, so
Well,
no
thank you.
minimum whatsoever. So let me know what you guys, what your sizes are when you order. You can just send me a quick email, or you can put a chat in the a note in the order itself, and we'll take care of you.
Excellent.
So, and if you, I know we had talked about earlier, if you want, I can kind of show you a bit of my workshop or my work shelf to see what I do.
Yeah, that'd be
I don't know if you
great.
have time for that. Okay, yeah.
We got a few minutes while he's
Okay.
Will's looking for what he's looking for.
All right, let me take you off here, and I will. All right. So these are some of the plates we talked about.
Yeah,
These are the shipping container crates from, was it LOL?
I think LOL was the name of the line. Yeah,
Okay.
they look great.
So these are, thank you. Yeah, I got a bunch of these that I'm making for my crates. Got an orange one in there. So I'm working
Nice.
on that. This is so whenever I travel to shows, I go ahead and I made this little bitty kit here that houses all of my travel paints, so I can take it with me.
Now, do you cosplay as well with the 501st?
Yeah. So I've got a couple different outfits. I've got a Imperial officer's uniform. I'm making
Excellent.
a Jedi, and I have a Imperial officer and a Stormtrooper.
Excellent. One of our friends in a different chapter, I imagine, Mython wears a TIE fighter pilot outfit.
Yeah,
that looks great.
Those guys have their own. The TIE fighters have their own special guild too, which is kind of cool. Here's a few GI Joe packs I picked up, and I have weathered. And
really adds some great detail when you put the weathering.
I got these. This, as you can see, this is a piece of foam core that I stuck in with alligator clips and pencils. And so I've got a few heads that I stick on there. And
Smart.
I stick it on there and just let it sit and paint. When I put my figures together, I try to make them and I mark them, right? So I've got Imperials, troopers, I've got workers. If I want to make an international police force, if I want to make some miners, I go in here.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then I just try to section everything off as much as I can.
Definitely helps when you're organized like that to set up your world building. When you need a particular character, you know which bin to go to.
Look at that. That looks great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Here's a couple of my, I found a couple of digital pens just from my, just got some little wires that I used from an old radio or a cell phone or something. So yeah, you GI Joe guys are great. There's all kinds of
oh, I saw
stuff you can use.
You when you were showing your diorama on the World Maker show, lots of little bits from GI Joe vehicles and shells and play sets that they incorporated. They always did some really nice sculpted detail on those old GI Joe sets. So yeah, they did. It's no wonder that they would look fantastic. Even just turned sideways and stuck on a wall, they look great.
Making a hovercraft and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
so yeah,
Scott said he's been bidding on junk lots for fodder.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's great. Yeah.
All those little plastic bits are definitely great for world building.
Mm-hmm. And I have to apologize to Mr. John, a World Made of Cardboard. For some reason, I can't find a Final Faction figure. I have dozens of, probably hundreds of these things laying around somewhere, but I just can't find one right now.
Yeah.
I'll get back
we'll
to you
test
on that,
it.
on that
I would
answer.
imagine the peg hole on that is similar to a GI Joe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Even the vehicle they put out has some peg holes on them, and I just don't know why. For some reason, I can't find one. So, I apologize.
That's all right.
It's Murphy's Law. You'll find it after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, when you're doing your
So-
figure customizations, are there particular types of figures that you find are better for customizing, like the vintage collection or O-ring figures, or just personal preference?
Personal preference. So I have a saying, which is there's no such thing as too many stormtroopers, right? So I have all kinds of figures that I love to just paint and customize. And so I will take figures and I will make as many variations of different troopers and just so as a kid, I would always lose guns, right? What kid didn't? So
Sure.
I use something called, if I have a thing of it here, E6000, and that is what I use to put in. It's awesome stuff. And that's what I use
like
to
an
put
epoxy,
in.
or
It's like an epoxy. And basically what you do is you take it's a very, very slow healing or setting epoxy. But I love and it sets stuff great. So this is one of my very favorite Fortnite figures. And I went ahead and customized them.
Wow.
And I took it's the same kind of style as that pavement gray and the Amsterdam inks. And he turned out pretty cool. So
I love
found
the
a couple of
camo
these.
kind of look on there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing how just a little bit of color variation makes it look like a completely new figure.
I think those Fortnite figures are constructed so well. They do such a great job. I'm
You're
just
not
not
kidding.
familiar with any of the characters, but I'm always impressed with how I have a whole bunch of them that I've picked up clearance. You find them at Ross for like $2.99. I can't believe it. And
I
they're
know.
such wonderfully made figures.
I used this is a Tantive 4 playset, right?
Oh,
From
very
the
nice.
vintage
Yeah.
collection. And so I took this basically, and you can see it's all one piece. So I took 6,000 and I put books on it and I put clamps on it. And it took about 5 or 6 days to do. And I just basically got some, got the weights on it and got the E6000 in there and just started making that adhered. I found this recently at some, it's some kind of knockoff. Maybe it's like one of the Lenards
Let's see what that is.
play sets or dioramas.
Yeah, around
But
the
it is-
holidays, they always come out with those great little
Oh,
play
wow.
sets. Sure. I think I have the same one on my shelf over here. Yeah.
So I got that. And I got another one that I have primed and painted, but not quite weathered yet. But yeah, so it's a great little, again, a little outpost or something you put in there. And
Sure.
so it's kind of cool. But yeah, the Fortnite figures, I'm telling you, Fortnite, Jurassic Park. I mean, whatever you want to put, whatever you can imagine, you can do. There's a set of things called the Ubiquitous playset.
Yeah,
and
I have one. They're
Oh,
great.
gee, okay. So a whole bunch of them. I made these floors.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
You used
From
your
leftover
epoxy on that
parts?
as well to put them together?
No, these are all snapped. Nothing is glued
Okay.
on this thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Nothing at
do
all.
hold pretty well.
Yeah, those look great.
They are murder
And-
on your fingertips getting them connected, though.
You're not kidding. Oh my gosh, yes, 100%. And yeah, they're insane. And I went ahead and I took a couple, and I made see if I can grab one here. So I took 2 of these. You can see they're not all leftover parts. These are like freezer tubes and wires you put in there.
Right.
And I went ahead and I made this kind of half side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you can just
It's a
put
great-
a figure on there.
Yeah, like a
And I've got-
sci-fi
I made 2 of
corridor. It's that's
Exactly.
bowling, and you could put the 2 together if you wanted. Yeah.
Correct. To make a full tunnel.
Nice.
These are just a bunch of leftover parts that I got from the Ubiquitous. During COVID, a friend of mine and I ordered 20 box sets. I'm sorry, 24 of those. And yeah, it just went insane. I mean murder things, you're right, 100%. But yeah, I've got my helmet and my heads that I keep in there. So
Yeah,
this
I
is
look at all
one thing I-
kinds of things all the time where, I'll be at work and cardboard or styrofoam packing will come in and, you're always like, that'll make a cool base, and you're collecting
Yeah.
it, and it's just having the time to put it all together, I guess, or
I know.
somewhere to keep it up. Those are those juice pouch caps, right? The
juice pouch caps, very good. And a buddy of mine
nice.
in the
so good, yeah.
in the Kit Bash Club is he is a smoker, and he
Okay.
uses vape cartridges. So the end
Yeah.
of that is a vape cartridge.
That is
And-
the cap. Yes, I recognize it now that you said that. That looks
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. That is
So I'm going to use
fantastic.
that, and I'm going to use a World War II set of tank treads to wrap it around it to give it like a seal. I
Yeah.
picked up one of these like a kid's train table, right?
Yep.
Oh,
And
okay.
I just primed that this morning, and so I'm going to set that up so I can put a bunch of I'm creating a whole new world that's going to be probably 5 or 6 tiers, and so
Nice.
that's my next project. Yeah. So
That is fantastic.
Kessel was probably a 2-year project that I had to work on, and got that finally done. I think I have one last thing here. This is a really cool. This is a
Yes.
Oh,
Buzz
the Buzz
Lightyear.
Lightyear. Yeah.
Those are amazing. And they were so inexpensive and they fluctuate. I think they're still available if you want to pick one up. They're huge and they're so well detailed, and they take paint so well. Look at that. That looks fantastic. That was meant to be a drill, right? Like a laser
Yeah, like a
drill or
space
something.
drill or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
so
a good
cool.
sentry gun or post,
I
something for
have
an
seen,
outpost.
yeah, so many of those repurposed, and that entire Lightyear line is probably like
Oh yeah.
the best thing to happen to Kit Bashers.
It's a
years.
gift that keeps giving, even though
Yeah.
the movie
Oh, no
flopped. The
kidding.
toys are great for customizers.
Uh-huh.
And I went ahead and I took these. I took the Buzz Lightyear helmets,
Yes.
right?
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
And I took and I got some paint on the inside, and I went ahead and used some copper paint, and I painted the inside of the shield instead of the outer.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it looks like that space helmet. So I've not weathered it up yet, but it's going to look a lot better.
Very
Sure.
good. Yeah.
And I painted one, and I brought one to the Joe Fest. I painted a one of my. Let's see if I got it right here. Here's one. That's one of my guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks much better. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good.
And I have so I met Seth Green, and
Mhm.
we were talking action figures, and I gave him one of my custom Buzz Lightyears, and so that was kind of cool. He was very appreciative, very
Yeah.
nice, very very kind person to talk to.
Cool.
So
Yeah, that
So,
was
awesome.
awesome. That is great, man. You have got a lot going on, man. You are definitely
I do.
you've got
And I am,
plenty, man. And an epic room there too. It's just like oh,
and I'm
this
a
is
messy
perfect.
Marvin, which I will completely agree. I mean, I'm
No,
very,
it's
very,
the
very
best.
messy.
With the best kind. It's all awesome stuff. I always go, is it really a mess if it's all awesome stuff? I don't think so. Um, Look
Yeah.
at that.
That is from the ubiquitous line as well. And these are, you might recognize these.
Oh, from the old Sigma 6.
Sigma 6.
Yeah.
Friend of mine 3D printed some plates to go on them,
Nice.
and I made them just unique
Very
crates.
cool. Yeah, that looks
Great
great.
background pieces that you can also
Yeah.
store stuff in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Scotty was
You can store
Scotty
your
was
figures
right
and
on
move them
there with
around.
the Sigma 6 also. Good eye, Scotty.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
great. That's
So,
fantastic. Well, that is awesome, awesome. So we have a giveaway to get to and a couple
okay.
other things. And I think let me just make sure I don't have any more information here to cover when it comes to your stuff there. I think we finished up with all the slides. And was there anything else that you wanted to share with the audience about, the advantage, anything coming soon, or, just that
Yeah.
we missed?
So first of all, I just wanted to thank everyone. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show. And one of the main reasons why I do this is for the community of people. It's all about inclusion. It's all about diversity and acceptance and just being able to learn from other people about what piece they use for this, how they're going to put this on their shelf, how they got this other ship to go to this one part, or switch this head to do that,
Yeah,
or paint this a certain way. The community's been awesome, and so
it has.
I love all the feedback and the positivity. It's been great. The advantage again is something that thank you so much for the compliments, by the way.
No
But it's
problem.
something that every action figure collector can use. If you want it for just the boards, if you want to take some quick pictures, if you want to put something on eBay, and
Yeah,
it's a much better way of putting a figure up for sale versus putting that action figure on the kitchen table with the kids' diapers and the oatmeal and everything else.
yeah, sure.
It's a lot better backdrop, right? And it's
Uh,
Sure.
simple, it's easy, it's quick. You can keep them in dynamic action poses while they're moving. So, yeah, Sci-Fi Diorama Guy
yeah,
has all the advantages in stock now. And anyone that mentions this show, again, just put in the notes, you get a free Sci-Fi Diorama Guy T-shirt.
Excellent.
Thank you for
wow,
everyone who
that is
commented. Thank you
awesome.
guys. Yeah, you've been awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Defiant Outer Rim Station saying great stuff, Sci-Fi Diorama Guy. Looking forward to
Thank you.
grabbing a couple of the Advantage sets. And I was just starting this world building journey of mine because I was so inspired, and the community was so welcoming and accepting. And I'm just so thrilled that just through going to Joe Fest, I can incorporate the Advantage into my future little city on the wall here. So probably
Awesome.
going to be getting several more of these sets as well. So
Yeah.
I
definitely
appreciate
looking
that.
forward to that. Yep.
The chat's
And
definitely enjoying it. And, many of us have eclectic collections of different stuff, and this will work with
Yes.
most of it. So that's going to be great.
yeah, and I know a lot of people are
Awesome.
eager to for me to give away some toys here. So we're going to get on with that. You are welcome to hang out for the rest of the show. We've got some other topics to
Okay.
cover and stuff like that. But seeing that it's your birthday, you're also welcome. If you got to go and you got stuff to do, no
Right.
worries at all. You just let me
I
know.
appreciate that, guys. Thank you again.
Well,
You've been great. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
well, thank you for your time. We have your website linked in the description below
Yep.
and in the
It is
chat.
also pinned in
Um,
the top of the chat. So, yep.
yeah. Do you also
Okay.
have an Instagram where you show projects in the making
Yes.
or something like that?
Instagram,
Okay.
yeah, Instagram is probably my most active. I guess one of the best ways to reach me too is Sci-Fi Diorama Guy on Instagram, or at Sci-Fi Diorama Guy.
Okay. We'll put that in the links
Great.
as well.
Yeah. I'll pop that in the chat right now.
Thank you so much.
Yep. So you get, oh, yep. And more happy birthdays. And I'm sorry, everyone did just flood the chat with happy birthday messages earlier.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
And Ian Sweeney, Largo saying eclectic is a toy collector speak for weird ass choices. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
That's true.
Anything
And,
goes, right? Everything's
yeah,
That's
accepted.
it.
So, guys,
Awesome.
let's go ahead and I know everyone's been waiting patiently for this giveaway, so let's give away a couple figures here. And
Awesome.
I do want to apologize if I don't know if that's Batman stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's give away some toys, right? Why don't we do that?
Always a good idea.
All right. Let me
Have
see.
a good weekend, guys.
Hey, thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest
Bye.
of your birthday. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Guys, that was a sci-fi diorama guy. What a guy, right? What a great guy.
Very
That was
cool.
awesome. Yeah, very nice to meet him. And
Neat
check
guy
out.
and a neat product. I like what he's
Yeah.
doing.
So, but he's not going to get a chance at some free figures. So he let no. Well, these aren't Star Wars figures, so we understand. So, guys, as you saw last week, I was able to pick up these. That's the new Marvel Epic Heroes line. But they were available on Entertainment Earth, and you had to buy a whole case. So that was kind of annoying. But what I figured was, I really want these. What do I do with the extras? Well, how about I just give them away on the show? That'd be fun, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do. Guys, we're at like I don't know, 850 subscribers or something like that. We're about to hit 900. And
Nice.
pretty soon we're going to be hitting 1,000 subscribers. And I really want to do something wonderful for the community, some giveaways and things like that. And I saw over on Chad, who just hit 5,000 subscribers, he was doing some giveaways using the StreamYard giveaway tool. So this is also a good opportunity to test that and try it. So if I mess anything up, it's not on the big 1,000 subscriber giveaway show, and I don't mess that up. So I do apologize because someone mentioned to me that I'm not giving all of them away. I wanted to give away your choice of one of these figures, but
I mean,
what
we'll
we'll
give them
do is
away eventually, but not all in one go.
eventually, but
Yeah.
not just on this show. So, so what I'll do is I'll do 2 drawings. Okay. So I only have one of the Vulture packs, so it's your choice. You could choose the Vulture and Miles, the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, which I do have a couple extra of these. And then for people that aren't into superheroes, I also have these that just came in, and these are from Hella Dope Toys, where I think you could still order them. But if you don't,
Oh, those are
this is
the
the
World War II figures.
Joy Toy World War II. And
Nice.
while I have everyone's attention, I also want to, all you 118ers out there, Hella Dope Toys is now also carrying some more 118 scale stuff. They have added boss fight stuff to their thing, and they have several pre-orders going on now. So if you want to head over to helladopetoys.com, you can check out some of that boss fight studio stuff. But they have heard us. We have been crying that they don't do enough of the 118 scale stuff, and they've added more stuff. So thank you for listening. And without further ado, let's go and let's draw some figures. So the way this works is we're going to go here. I'm going to present screen. We're going to bring
All
up
right.
the giveaway
While
tool.
you're setting that up, I'm going to go
Yep.
grab another tasty beverage.
Oh, okay. All right. Looks like Jim's not going to have a chance at winning a Spider-Man because he left. But yeah, here we go. So we've got the 118. We're gonna, so what we do is guys, you're gonna have to type something in the chat. The way this works is I'm gonna put something in the giveaway tool here, and we're gonna just go ahead and you're gonna type that in the chat exactly how it appears. We're gonna give you a couple minutes, and then we're gonna push that button. And it's gonna pick a winner. So let's go ahead and pick a hashtag something to give away. Now, why don't we do hashtag um mm, mm, Hashtag Largo. You're going to do hashtag Largo. And that's right. Just all lowercase. Hashtag Largo in all lowercases. And we're going to start collecting comments. And so far we have one entry. Largo, since he's not here. Largo, go ahead. Jim Largo is going to be responsible for picking these. So yeah, we've got
What did I do now?
You're the giveaway. Everyone has to shout out Largo.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters if it's lowercase or uppercase. We went through this on the thing, but
It
just
does
for your
matter
own
how you
thing-
type it in for it to accept it.
Yeah,
It has to be
I would
either,
say
yeah, it's got to be an
just go ahead
identical
and
case.
just type it in all lowercase. I just kept it easy. And if you type it in twice, it doesn't matter. And if you've won already, it automatically filters you out. So we'll give that a couple minutes. If anyone else has any questions or anything like that, go ahead and we could just talk about that. We've got, some like 20 something people watching, and we only got 11 entries. So I want to give you Largo,
Polo.
Polo. There it is. Schmodulok. So we got all kinds of. I had to change mine. Yep. That's all right. Yeah. Take your time. It doesn't matter. You could type it in 10 times. It only counts as one. So don't worry about messing up the thing. What's the prize again? So your choice of one of these Spider-Man 2-packs. You could choose Spidey and Green Goblin or Miles and Marvel's Vulture. These are the new packs. They just came out. If you're not into superheroes and you like World War II guys, we've got your choice of. I have one of each. I have the U.S. infantryman. I have the Russian infantryman, and the German. It's the infantry guy also, but they call him the Wehrmacht or something. Wehrmacht. I don't know. I don't speak German. Okay, so we've got 12 entries, guys. If that's all that's interested in the giveaway, I'll give it another like 20 or 30 seconds. So that's about half of you guys. So we're gonna draw it. I'm not too late to return for the Vulture, am I? Well, no, you're not, but you do have to type in hashtag Largo, just like it is on the screen there. Hashtag Largo. You got about 30 seconds. So go ahead and type Tyler returns. You got to type hashtag Largo in the chat.
Yeah, and then it'll put you into the drawing thing.
I'll wait.
So while we're waiting on our stragglers, I did see a little sneak peek there. You were showing some Batman images. Is that
right.
something coming soon, or?
Yeah. So what I figure is we'll do this giveaway. We'll run into Batman, and then at the end of the show, we'll do one more.
Oh, okay.
How's that? It's still at 12. So Tyler, I was waiting for you. There will be another. Can you just confirm if you did already join the thing? Tyler?
Yeah, I don't see it in the chat.
Yeah, because it hasn't gone up. It was 12 before he said that, and now it's also 12. So I don't know if he did. So once again, the way it works is in the chat, you type hashtag Largo, just like it's shown on the screen there, and it enters you in the draw.
World Made of Cardboard, I cannot offer you a all expense paid trip, but if you ever make it to Guatemala, I do have a guest room. You and your significant other will certainly be welcome.
You are. I'm giving away Largo on the stream.
That's it. You can have a free copy of the home game. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna run it. So if you did not do it and you miss it, then it's on you at this point. Okay, we're gonna draw. Can you see this? All right. Who is the winner? Who is the winner? Zaymot
Woo!
Rogue, you're the big winner. Zaymot,
Nice.
you won, man. It's your choice. So yeah, go ahead, and I know Zaymot Rogue has my thing. Just hit me up on Instagram with your choice, or if you could let us know in the chat right now what your choice is, that'd be great, because then I could not draw the next one there.
Yeah.
Once again, you have your choice of Spidey and Green Goblin, Spidey and Vulture, or U.S., German, or Russia when it comes to Joy Toy World War II. So go ahead and yeah, congrats, Zama Rogue. Whichever one you like. Goblin, of course. All right, nice choice, buddy. I'll put one aside for you. And we'll be doing these probably every week until I run out of them. So if you didn't win this week, come back next week, and we'll be giving away small things like this up to 1,000. So well, you've got one more, Tyler. We will be giving away another one, and the Vulture is still available. So if you stick around, you can. But you missed the Largo. The Largo's over. We're going to do another giveaway in a few minutes. Okay, so just hang in there. Sorry, go ahead. As a board game player, I'd be interested in playing Largo's Lair, the home edition. Well, that Largo's Lounge is definitely going to be incorporated into my world building back here. It has to be.
Nice.
So yeah, that'll be.
We'll definitely be bringing that back.
Definitely. Largo's Lounge will be in that big diorama back there at some point.
We'll just have to find you a couple Guatemalan gremlins to be bartenders.
Yeah. So, and then how do I go back and reset this now? So, draw again. Or
I think draw again.
Draw
again. I think go back.
Yeah.
So that you can add new people to the thing.
Yeah. Okay. And then I choose the live stream again. So, but we're not going to give that away right now. All right. What's the rush, people? We got other stuff to talk about, and that is Batman. So yeah, these hit Amazon last week, and we were talking about them. And yes, these are the corrected slides. Okay, there was a big.
This is Spin Master.
Yeah, there was a big hubbub because the figures on the initial Amazon listing were in the wrong place, but you could see that it's 3 carded figures. If you look closely at the picture, it's like 3 traditional carded blister figures on a card back slid into this outer case. And I guess whoever was doing the photography slid them in the wrong order. So, Keaton was under, Batman Begins and whatever. They were all mixed up, and everyone, instead of just commenting on it, we're just commenting on that.
Do you have Zaymot's info, or do you need him to send it to you?
You need to post that right in chat. No, I'm kidding. I think I still have it from when we sent you the Joe Fest stuff, right? So
Okay.
I will ship that out to you tomorrow. Thank you very much. And if not, yes, there will definitely
be only one, and that's Eduardo.
One super, and he's going to be a lounge singer.
Nice.
It's going to be great.
At the Copa Cabana.
It's going to be great. So, all right, guys.
Speaking of singing, World Made of Cardboard's in the Batman mood.
Batman. So this is the Batman 85th anniversary 3-pack. We've already talked about the Batman Begins Tumbler RC vehicle and the Batwing, which we'll talk about again.
This is neat because if you notice in that last slide, when you take them out of the big pack, they are individually carded. So if you just want to put them on the wall with the card art, you can do that.
Cards look pretty good too. And it looks like that is Batman vs Superman, Affleck, the Dark Knight trilogy. And we have who is that again? That's
Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom.
Michael Keaton's Batman Returns.
Batman Returns. Oh, you're talking about for the Dark Knight. That was Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. So I was worried though that these would be reissues of the Flash figures, and I did check, and I would say, oh, by the way, they went live on Amazon, but when you clicked on it, it said they were out of stock. I added it to my cart anyway, And I got this notification saying it would be arriving between September 5th and September 7th. Just so anyone knows, they go there, they get discouraged. Go to Amazon, just put it in your cart and buy it if you had to have it. So, and yes, Amazon does this all the time. But they don't have this option for the Batwing in Batman or the Tumbler yet. They're both just saying, why does Batman vs Superman have gold boots and gloves? I don't know.
That's a good question.
They're kind of like bronze, right? I guess.
In the
It's
movie, he
weird.
kind of had like bronze knuckle dusters and some accents. But is it just
Yeah.
me, or is the Michael Keaton head like huge compared to the other two? That's kind of odd.
And that's weird because in the Flash figures, he was tiny. He was tiny Keaton. So here's the on the left. I'm sorry I didn't label them.
So it is a
not the
different
same-
sculpt.
It is a
Yeah.
different sculpt. Thank goodness. I was afraid it was just the same sculpt in a repaint. So this is the Flash figure, and they're not exactly scaled because I cut them out of two different pictures, but it looks like they went with a new head sculpt for sure. The body sculpt is different, but the construction and the articulation looks similar to other. But I don't know if they messed with the scales because if you remember, the movie scale figures were like they were still 4-inch, but their proportions were kind of shrunk in. I think that would be awesome. I would buy them. I
Sure.
love them. But the proportions were kind of small. Like when you had the Batman next to the old, they were the same height, but Batman's head was much smaller. His body was skinnier and thinner. So now we had
Big head
Tiny Keaton, and now we have Big Head Keaton. But they did much better on the face sculpt. Like it looks a little more like him. And then I was worried about the Batman vs Superman figure. They painted the belt. Yeah, but the sculpting looks different. If you look at the outfit, there's a lot of lines and stuff in
The torso for sure is different. They may have reused the arms and legs.
No,
but yeah, the
it
head
looks
sculpt and the
different,
torso
too.
is different.
The boots look
Does it?
similar, but I think they are different sculpts. Yeah. And the gloves and everything. Like it looks like a different figure altogether. So I'm hoping it also maybe they scaled it up or just made it.
And this
So
is an
here-
interesting change for Spin Master because
Yeah.
they're pretty much a toy line for children. Now they're trying to dip into the collectors kind of stuff, which is different.
Yeah, which I don't know if it's good. I will tell you though that was listed for $20 for 3 figures.
Nice.
And I don't know why, but you post the picture online and there's people. I think $20 for 3 Batman figures is a great deal. And that's a nice looking set. Someone else commented, of course, that's not a good deal. I hate them. I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think they're that bad.
They aren't the greatest articulation, but again, this was a kids line. For what they're presenting, I think it's a good price point for 3
At under
cool
$10
figures.
for each figure is definitely a good deal.
And the fact that there's going to be vehicles coming out that'll be compatible, that's great.
Well, that's one disappointing piece of news I wanted to share with you guys. But that is the Batfleck from the Flash movie on the left, and on the right, the new one from the anniversary pack. And as you can see, these are definitely different molds. They are different, totally different figures. So, great, Beta Bob. That's awesome. Yeah, the Flash figures. So if you remember, this set came out last year, and one of the disappointing things about it was the Batman, the Flash, the Batman from the Batman movie, and Selena Kyle were all just repackaged figures that were a dime a dozen. The only new figures at that time were Shazam and Aquaman. But with the Aquaman 2 movie coming out, we found out that that's the exact same figure that was released for that as well. So if you buy this set, you're only getting that Shazam figure. That's the only figure you're getting different. And this was on Amazon for like $11 for the whole set, which isn't bad.
I prefer their comic versions over their movie ones, but
oh my, this is such a ball. He cracks me. Which version of Batman best represents the level of respect that professional athletes have for each other in the locker room? You are something else, man.
It's a good question.
But you can see the scales are all over the place too, because Batman from the Batman is huge. He's much taller. He's much beefier than all the other Batmen. Tiny Keaton's over there being tiny. Even Selena Kyle's like a head taller. She's like an Amazon compared to all these other figures.
Yeah. It's like
You
they
know?
had sculptors working on each of these lines and they didn't
Yeah.
make them all compatible, which is unfortunate.
I'm gonna say the Pattinson Batman has the most respect that professional athletes have for each other in the locker room. Doubles are great for painting,
Okay.
sure, but do you really need that many? So the Batman Batwing, and it looks like the Batman that comes with it is the same one that comes in the 3-pack. So there's a double there, but you probably want to keep a Batman in the cockpit, right?
Yeah.
That would be great. And this one also came out. And here's the bad news, guys, because everyone was speculating that you could fit the Christian Bale Batman in there. It is not listed anywhere on here that you could put a figure in this. I think it was a bad
What?
choice. Yeah, I think they really need to put a figure in there if they want to make this thing cool. But if you really look closely, I looked.
It doesn't look
Almost
like it opens up. Yeah.
it almost looks like it does in one of the photos, but I don't think you could put a figure in there.
Also,
And
it says it's 1/15th scale, not
yeah, which
1/18th.
is a
So
little bigger. It's going to be a
a
little
little
bigger,
bigger.
but it doesn't say anything about. And why wouldn't it just come with a figure if it was? I
Right.
mean, they throw these in with everything, so why wouldn't they? The other
I
thing
like
I
this
was gonna,
Batwing though.
yeah, this Batwing is a big improvement on the one for the Flash movie.
Yeah.
In sculpting detail and construction, it just looks much better. The other thing I was going to mention was in the description for this, there was a mention of a Bane figure coming out. What he looks like, I don't know, but just so you know, I think that they're
From the films or from the comics?
from the. It's going to be from the Dark Knight trilogy, I would imagine.
Okay. Yeah, Tyler's saying Legion of Doom. McFarlane Superpowers is kind of covering that. They've got
Yeah.
Black Manta is coming out again. They've got some other villains that'll be coming out in the line soon. So that's probably where you'll see those. And those might be compatible. They're a little tall. They're what,
Yeah.
4.25,
They're
5-ish?
they're like more like 5-inch figures. Yeah. That superpowers. Anyway, this is still out of stock. It's nice. You do have that option of picking up that old Mattel one from when the movies were out. Those figures were a little bigger, but your Batfleck or your guy will fit in there. Lord of Thane, I can't start over. We're too far into it. Guys, we also have the G.I. Joe boat challenge going on, but let's just make sure we've covered everyone else. George Clooney Batman. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Ugh, that version of Bane was terrible, though, from the movie.
Oh yeah. They're not going with all the Batmen from that, I guess, era. They're just going with Keaton and skipping over the other ones. But so far, yeah, there has been Luthor, Grundy, and Black Manta in the Spin Master line. Yeah. Not in the style of like the old animated series or like
Right.
they were saying. It would be nice if they could do, I would love a pack that was all on the same scale where you got a 66, an 89, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
All
sure.
of them all on the same scale. That would be fantastic. That would be great. But we do have that G.I. Joe boat challenge still going on, guys. And I picked one of these up for $250 at Walmart just yesterday.
Nice.
And I'm going to slap some stuff on it.
Our buddy It's Chad did a great video using one of these to make a custom Battle Corps Rangers vehicle.
Fantastic.
So check out that video.
Yeah. And I believe someone else did a video too. They made a Delta 17 boat. That was, who was that? That was, what can I think of him? Why am I drawing a blank here?
Was it the toy enhancer, Aaron?
Yes, it was Aaron, the toy enhancer.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did a
Yeah,
nice
he did a
boat.
cool
I
video
don't think
on
they
one.
did them for the challenge, but they just made cool boats. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to make a cool boat, make a cool boat, send it in. We're going to take a look at them next weekend, I believe. So yeah,
I agree with
7/28.
Scotty. I liked Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy. She was easy on the eyes. But
Well, let's take a
King
look.
Shark
Yeah.
is another
Oh,
Spin Master
that's 2
sculpt. It's good.
weeks. That's 2 weeks from now, guys. So you got 2 weeks to get your boats in. So yeah, go
Ooh,
pick up a
yeah.
boat.
I
If
would
they
prefer a
did- I
Joker
would-
pack to another Batman pack. We have plenty of Batman.
For sure, for sure. I would love to see a Joker's, because that is one constant that has been featured in every Batman movie and TV show series. That would be great.
Scotty brings up a good point. Back to school stuff is going to start coming into the aisles. So all of these boats and other beach toy stuff is going to be on clearance, so you can get them even cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked all these up for $1 each. So
Sweet.
yeah. So yeah.
And they float.
Guys, I want to thank you, our Patreon and channel members. You guys are the best. Picked up a few more there, so thank you so very much. All you guys, you see yourselves up there. It's not required, but it is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much, guys. And that is all I had. Let's see. Uma Thurman is no Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman. I will tell you
That's fair.
That's right. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. And
Meow.
looks like Bjorn shared the link to that video. So thank
Oh,
you.
excellent.
Yeah. Bjorn, it's a little too late for the extra boats, dude. I'm just saying. I mean, I'd like to ship you one, but I've been talking about this for 2 months, dude. You should have asked me
I don't
before.
think it'll
Joe
get there
Fest.
in time now. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great toy cast. I like that name. It's a toy cast. Thank you, Winslow. How are you? Okay, so let's give away that other one, guys. I know you guys want to get out of here. We've been going for almost 2 hours. Let's give away one more item here. What is the hashtag, Jim? Hashtag
Dolly.
Hashtag Dolly. Did I spell that correctly? DOLLIE.
DOLLIE. Yes, sir.
That is it, people. Hashtag Dolly, all lowercase. If you'd like to win, hashtag Dolly, just like it's typed up there on the screen. We'll leave that up there. Not hashtag Golly. He wrote hashtag Golly. All right, hashtag Dolly, guys, for your choice. And I'll go over these again. You have your choice of Spider-Man or Miles Morales and the Vulture, the new figure. Really nice. Okay.
It is a nice vulture.
It is nice. And I really love the Goblin, too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have Spider-Man versus Green Goblin, but not this one because this one goes the same out rogue. But you could have this one. So you have your choice of those two. And if you're not into superheroes, because I understand not everyone is, you can choose one of these Joy Toy World War II figures. We've got Germany, the US, and Russia. You can pick one of
Nice.
those, and I'll send those to you. I will ship them out tomorrow. And we've got 15 entries, so we're doing pretty good. Well, hello, Dolly. Molly, go to Tron. You're not going to win with hashtag Molly. I mean, you're going to get something else, but I can't provide that. I don't. Hashtag Holly. It's a Holly, Dolly, Molly, Golly. Oh, you just keep messing up everything here. So let's see. I'd say that's probably. No, it went up. It went up. So we'll wait. Can we just check in and see if that guy that missed it the first time? Yes. Okay. Tyler returns. Here we go.
Aha.
Right. Hashtag Dolly. You got it.
He's
you
in
are
there.
in the entry. He really wants that vulture figure, and I hope he wins. That'd be great. But yeah, anyone else? Salvatore Dolly. That's our first. Salvador Dali. He'd be a nice denizen of my my world back there. I'd love to have Salvador Dali. Rip Tiny Toon Adventures.
Hello, nurse.
Well, hello, Dolly. All right, so 16. It looks like it's settling at 16 here. What do you think? We give it a couple more minutes, or we go ahead and do this? All right, guys. If you didn't make it in, that's still, it's only about half the people watching. So you sure, people, you're just not interested in these? They're free. You don't have to pay.
They may already have them, and or
might have
they
them.
may not. They may not be at a keyboard. They may be listening somewhere, mowing the lawn or doing
so
other
we're
Sunday
gonna
stuff.
go ahead and pull this trigger and get this wrapped up here. Okay, so hashtag Dolly. 3, 2, 1, draw. Let's go for it. Who's gonna win?
Woohoo!
Roll keeper. Whoa,
Nice.
roll keeper, you won. That's kind of weird though, because these are the two people whose addresses I already have. So I think
That's convenient.
Yeah, congratulations, buddy. Roll keeper and Zmont Rogue. Guys, just roll keeper, if you could just in the chat let me know which one it is you like. Which one you would like. I will pack that up and ship it out to you tomorrow. And anyone else, if you didn't win, once a roll keeper chooses his item, I'll put it aside and I'll let you guys know what's left. And we will be giving those away next week and all weeks going up until there will be at least one giveaway a week up until 1,000 subs.
Nice.
Is coming soon. So thank you so much. That is my way of saying thank you. Joy Toy US. Okay, great. Joy Toy.
He wants that America.
America. He is yours, my friend. You got him. He's right here. So so good news for anyone that was looking for the Vulture. I think Tyler, come back next week and you could get the Vulture. Thank you so very much, everyone. Guys, I will be shipping those out to you tomorrow. So thank you. And thank you for everyone watching, tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have an awesome time. And bye-bye.
Bye.